The Lord, the God of their fathers, sent word to them being the people of Judah, through his messengers, we call them the prophets, again and again, because he had pity on his people and on his dwelling place. But they, the people of Judah, mocked God's messengers, people like Jeremiah and others that you might be familiar with, despised his words and scoffed at his prophets until the wrath of the Lord was aroused against his people, and there was no remedy. You see, the people of Israel, these people that were living in Judah, they were constantly looking elsewhere for gods. They were looking at the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, all the other gods that were around there, but they were not looking at Yahweh, the one true God. So we keep going and we see what happens. He brought up against them the king of the Babylonians, who killed their young men with the sword in the sanctuary, and spared neither young man nor young woman, old man or aged. God handed all of them over to Nebuchadnezzar, who was the king. He carried to Babylon all the articles from the temple of God, both large and small, and the treasures of the Lord's temple, and the treasures of the king and his officials. They set fire to God's temple, and they broke down the wall of Jerusalem. They burned all the palaces and destroyed everything of value there. He carried into exile to Babylon the remnant who escaped from the sword, and they became servants to him, Nebuchadnezzar, and his sons until the kingdom of Persia came to power. The land enjoyed its Sabbath rest, all the time of its desolation and respite, because there was no one there, until the 70 years were completed in fulfillment of the word of the Lord spoken by Jeremiah. But here's what I love about God. Even in the midst of this chaos, there's a word on it. There's something more. Verse 22. In the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, in order to fulfill the word of the Lord spoken by Jeremiah, the Lord moved the heart of Cyrus, king of Persia, to make a proclamation throughout his realm and to put it in writing. This is what Cyrus, king of Persia, says. The Lord, the God of heaven, has given me all the kingdoms of the earth, and he has appointed me to build a temple for him at Jerusalem in Judah. Any one of his people among you, may the Lord his God be with him, and let him go up. In other words, let him go home. Let them go back home to the city where they came from, the city of Jerusalem. And you see, if we keep following history from here, we see that there were really three waves of people that went back. The first one, it was a guy by the name of Zerubbabel. Say that word with me, Zerubbabel. Zerubbabel. Okay, so it was this guy Zerubbabel who leads the first wave back. Second wave of people was someone by the name of Ezra. And then the third wave, and this is what we're going to focus on tonight, the third wave was led by a guy named Nehemiah. So I want you to go to the book of Nehemiah with me. There's 2 books later, so you see Ezra right there, go to Nehemiah. Ezra, Nehemiah. Nehemiah chapter 1. And we're going to see this return and how God used this man to make an incredible difference in the world. Here we go. Nehemiah chapter 1. The words of Nehemiah, son of Hakaliah. In the month of Kislev, in the 20th year, while I, this is Nehemiah writing, was in the citadel of Susa. Susa was a city in the Babylonian Empire, far, far away from where Jerusalem was. So he's nowhere near Jerusalem. Okay? Hananiah, one of my brothers, came from Judah with some other men, and I questioned them about the Jewish remnant that survived the exile, and also about Jerusalem. They said to me, those who survived the exile and are back in the province are in great trouble and disgrace. The wall of Jerusalem is broken down, and its gates have been burned with fire. When I heard these things, I sat down and I wept. For some days I mourned and fasted and prayed before the God of heaven. You see, Nehemiah was a man, even though he was far away from his city, he still loved his city. It's incredible today that there are people who love St. Louis City. You know? They love, that's right, they love the city in which they grew up. They love the city in which maybe they moved to, but they love the heart of the city. I'm going to share something with you tonight about a project that we're embarking on called the College Hill Project. College Hill is a neighborhood in North St. Louis City. It's a part of our city. And then I'm going to give the chance for you to meet Gail Olson. And Gail Olson has been a driving force as a part of our larger St. John family in this College Hill restoration project. So I'm going to show you a quick video and then invite Gail to share a few things with you. Gail is someone who loves our city. College Hill is a community in North St. Louis located between Interstate 70, West Florissant, Bissell, and Warren. The name College Hill was given to this area because it was the location of the St. Louis University College Farm. The housing of this neighborhood dates back between 1880 and 1920. The Bissell Mansion, the old water tower at 20th Street and East Grand Avenue, and the red water tower at Bissell Street and Blair Avenue are mainstays in this old North Side neighborhood and are testimony of a rich historical heritage. Once a thriving community, it has fallen prey to drug dealers, criminals, and the effects of unemployment. It rates among the highest in all crimes, statistically rates the worst in health issues, and has the highest incident of lead poisoning in the city. Many residents have fled the community, but some have stayed, living there for 50+ years. The residents that live there love their community and speak warmly of how things used to be and what they hope the future holds for themselves in College Hill. St. John member Gail Olson has been the driving force in plans to rehab this entire neighborhood, not just one house. The possibilities for involvement and impact are endless. There will be opportunities for those who want to do a one-time event or those who want to make a long-term commitment. There will be yards that need to be cleaned up, houses rehabbed, and assistance to St. Paul Lutheran Church to reach out in their community. It is exciting to think about the possibilities for the people of St. John. Gail is the one that we spoke about in the video. Gail, we don't have a mic on you, so nice and loud. Yeah, we know that you can. Would you just share with us a little bit of your vision for College Hill, maybe how you got involved and why it is significant that we, as a part of St. John and as a part of God's kingdom, care about our neighbors at College Hill?
Well, I initially got involved because many years ago St. John has opportunities for our small group to become involved in a mission project, and at that time it was working with Good Samaritan Service Center for the Homeless. And from that, this project has evolved. There was an idea of actually starting to rehab a small block. And that really never happened, and it was quite frustrating to me. And now as I look back, I can see how God was working. God was saying at that time, no, that's not the direction I want. He had something much bigger and much better in mind, and that's the College Hill Project. College Hill, what we really are looking for is to walk next to the residents that are living there now. We do not want to come in and tell them what they need or how they're going to continue to resurrect their neighborhood. But we have come and have said that we will walk alongside of you. We will walk underneath you and lift you up. That's our main goal. And yeah. So
how can we, Outpost Maplewood, be involved in this? I mean, you see 35 people here. How can we make a difference in this community?
St. John, again, is offering many opportunities, and on February 18th, everybody here is invited to attend a meeting at St. John's Church. There'll be a small lunch involved, and then there will be people that will be like myself, who will be speaking about College Hill, but also about any other local mission opportunities that you'll be able to get involved in. We'll have very specific ways that anybody can get involved.
Now, Gail, you've been a member at St. John for, I think, like 7 years or so, and I'm just wondering, how has your heart expanded for mission? Clearly this is something that God put on your heart, and you are passionate about it, you're excited about it. God has been doing something to you personally. What has that been?